Hello, hello, beautiful
Hello,
Maria.
hello.
How are you doing?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm doing amazing. We had a beautiful talk just before, and then we have fallen to conclusion that today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. I mean, how do we start our own little business, medium business, big business, whatever is your vision, and how do we actually make the leap of faith and make a move forward?
Mhm,
So we're gonna touch base to everything that can arise when you want to do and start something on your own. And it doesn't have to be a full-time entrepreneur, right? We can talk about something a passion that you wanna move forward and make it a reality, right? Something on the side. It could be a side hustle, something that you've been thinking about for a while, but that you actually want to make a move and an action on it, right?
mhm,
So we'll see how that leads to us, but that's going to be our topic of the day. I would like to say, what would be the signs that you actually have to open up the possibilities of becoming an entrepreneur? So I would lead with that question first and see, and then we're
mhm,
going to touch base in the next topics within it.
mhm. I think that's great. So you want me to start?
Why not? Oh, I don't
Okay.
mind if you want me.
Yeah, it's no problem. I mean, for me, the signs of entrepreneurship is, I mean, what is entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship can be everything. It can start even as a young child, 14, 15, I don't know, and you have a skill to sell. You go to your neighbor and you say, "Hey, I can do your dog. I can bring your dog out. I can do the grass. I don't know how you say it,
Lawn, yeah, I can mow your
lawn,
lawn.
the
Me
grass,
too.
you know? You can give me a little bit of money. This is how you start thinking that you have something to offer and you exchange your work, your value, and you get
Mm,
energy back. And energy in that sense is money. Um, so you can trade basically. So I think this could be the start of entrepreneurship, and then you go bigger into building your brand, your company, your coaching business, whatever. And I don't know if the feeling or where it starts. I think it's something that is deep inside you. It's something that I don't want to say that you're burning to do it. That's I think this comes later, but I think naturally there are people who have the sense of creating and the sense of I am actually able to believe in myself that I can have something to offer and I could get something back from it. So that's little sentence or that little description. And I think if you have this inside you and you feel like that you are valuable or your work, your skill is valuable enough to exchange it against something, you start by thinking about, okay, what can I actually give to other people?
mhm,
Maybe you even think about things that other people told you before. Like maybe sometimes when we are young, people are telling us, you are good in this, you are good in this, why don't you go into this and that? And usually, typically, we are programmed to go after university or college and all these kind of things to
mhm,
pursue a, let's say, stable employee job. But then there are skills inside us that needs different kind of skills that are not so typically defined. So more skills that include different kind of interactions and I don't know how to describe, but as a young entrepreneur as we are, we know that if you are in my field, for example, you are a yoga teacher, so you somehow are a sports person, you are a coach, you are somehow a therapist, you are somehow a business person. You need to know how to negotiate, how to handle your finances. You need to know how to do marketing, how to use your programming skills in when it comes to your website, how to do these kind of things. So you're a little bit of everything, right? So I think if you feel that you are a creative person, there's also
Mm-hmm.
a big sign of going into the field or direction of entrepreneurship. And then there's also the intuitive part, the soul part that I strongly believe in. If you have a feeling that there is more that you can do, and you don't need someone to explain to you what are the skills that you have or that you need, because you truly believe that you can create out of the all skills and your knowledge, your physical body, your energy, you can create your own. I think if you have that vision, you feel that you are meant for a little bit more, and then you can try. Is there something that you attract people with, or not? And but me, I generally believe, I truly believe actually, if you have that vision and if you see yourself somewhere, it is somehow from God, from the universe, sent to you. It's not something that is just there to suppress again, to doubt again. I think it's more that it's a potential that we try to see, do we go after it or not? Because entrepreneurship is at the end also taking risk. Are you able to take these kind of risk? Are you brave enough to take these risks and go after what you feel that is right? Um, and yeah, so this is, I think, what I feel entrepreneurship could be, or how you can start thinking about if entrepreneurship would be something for you.
I love that so much, Miriam. You touch base with very key words and keynotes, and ha having been a multipreneur and understanding from a young age myself, you said the 15, 14 years old, I would knock at doors. That's what I did. I started offering my
Mm,
services as a um, babysitter, right? That's where I found myself doing. I did not see myself mowing any lawns, but what I want to say about all of this is that entrepreneurship and people being entrepreneurs is not a new concept. It's been part of our societies from
mm,
millennials. Before even going to the societies of today of what it looks like in the technology and how it developed, we started as a village. We started as smaller
mm,
communities. And how did those small communities would work? They would have the pop and mom shop. They would offer their own unique services in exchange of, like you said, money or an exchange of something and a trade. So entrepreneurs, it has been weaved into humanity from a very, very long time. So I want to even say that entrepreneurship is part of each one of us, one way or the other, and it can show up differently. There's no one
mm,
type of entrepreneur, and that's the beauty of it. You get to shine your unicity into your
mm,
own business. Or you don't have
mhm,
to call it a business because it cannot have to be a business. It can just be a passion that you're selling just for the fun, like a side hustle, like I said. It can take forms. Your business can take form differently, and you as an entrepreneur take form differently. So for me, we each have a unique way of being on earth. We each have a unique talents, not just one, multiple talents that has value to offer to the people around you, to your network, we like to call it. Your community is your network. Your
mm,
clientele is gonna be your community. It's gonna be your ideal clients, right? And and so for me, entrepreneur is not just, I don't want to have a boss and I want to be free. If you look into it, it's just a way for you to show your unicity at your own light and your own image, at your own flavor,
mm,
right?
mm,
But I understand we grew up in a society where there's a lot of pressure that came in, and we have to find ways to make the money to pay our own basic needs, if you want to say. So, what saddens me is that we kind of put apart the magical part of us, our unicity, to just focus on what our basic needs are. And I
mm,
completely understand this reality. But today, I think the signs that you mentioned if I had to put them in a very simple way, is what are your priorities in your life right now? Do you want a lifestyle that allows you more freedom, schedule freeing, be your own boss? That can be one of the signs, right? Most of people, when they think of entrepreneurship, they think right over the sign. The second one that you
Mm,
mentioned, and I do agree, is this inner desire, inner calling that pushes you to put your unicity out. There's something that calling me out that's going to make my offer different than the others, and that's going to put me outside of the box that the current systems and organizations cannot allow me to put forward the way
mm,
it is. So that's your unique calling, your inner calling putting you out there, right? Another sign, like you said, is allowing your creativity to flow, right? Because being an entrepreneur is making up and setting up what you want, putting your own rules, putting your own ways of working, your own hours of work. You get to be creative. How do you put up your offer? How do you present it, right? What is your offer?
mm,
What are the
mm,
conditions around it? So if you feel like you want to be creative with your life and how you the way you make money, then that's going to be another sign, right?
mm, mm,
Another thing is just stimulating yourself. Does your current job right now stimulate every part of you? Or do you feel like you want to be stimulated different? Or do you feel like you want to take more risks? Or do you feel like you want to try something completely new, right? Like I said, there's no perfect profile to be an entrepreneur, right? And maybe I'm really sold on this, but allowing me myself to discover myself differently and outside of the box, there's no better gift.
mm.
It's the best challenge you can have to get to know yourself on a deeper level, to
Exactly.
to try yourself in entrepreneurship because you have to figure things out and you're putting yourself out there in a way. So that's so fun and exhilarating. So it's challenging your comfort zone. It's challenging your current beliefs. It's challenging who you think you can do, what you can do actually. So it's a another sign. Oh, do I want to challenge myself right now? It can be a side hustle once again, right? And five,
Mm,
often than not, is a sign for people to want to have an extra revenue, right? If you feel like, oh, I have this job now, it's fun. I know the back of the end, this job, I want to have an extra revenue. That can be another sign. There's so many other
mm,
signs, but I think that's the ones we can stop right now. But I want to just reiterate that more than not, we all have an entrepreneur, little entrepreneur person inside of us, right?
mm.
Even you, that all your life you've been working the same job, or you feel like, Macy, I could never be an entrepreneur. It's too risky. It's scary. I need stability. What is stability at the end of the day? When
Yeah.
you look at how humanity grew to where we're at today, people grew with so much uncertainty in the past. They did not
Mm,
know how they were going to feed their kids. They did not know how, maybe that's why it traumatized the humanity, but they did not know how there was no guarantee the job going to still be there. There was so many crises of economy, the Great Depression, the other thing, the Cold War, all the things. Everything was so uncertain. And guess what? They survived because we're here today. Your great grandparents survived. They find they found a way. Humankind is extremely competent,
mm,
resilient, and capable of finding
mm.
solution when they have to. We're not there
And I
anymore. I don't
think,
ask you to put yourself there, right? But
yeah.
let yourself dream because now more than ever you're much more secure than 50 years
Mm.
ago. You're much more secure economically. There's so much more options, opt out, and possibilities. So why don't you allow yourself to dream and go after what you cannot have in your current situation? Sorry, go on.
No, it's so beautiful what you say. It's so, so true. And I think there were a few points where I felt like I want to add, and because I find them so important. Like the first part is the secure part. people, because they have so much security right now, I think it's the first time in our society that we don't suffer from hunger that much anymore. I mean, at least in where I am in Europe, or you are in the North America or Canada. So you are in a place of safetyness somehow, but what is safetyness at the end of the day, right? Because these people who think that this is safetyness put them one day out of their comfort zone. There is no safetyness for you anymore. And then put the other people, let's say entrepreneur, who create safetyness by taking risk. They train themselves to really use all these kind of skills, ways of thinking, ways of moving, ways of developing your brain, adapting to new circumstances, to create safetyness again, right? So for me, this is such a beautiful, beautiful point that when I come back to Europe, every time I see everyone telling me, but you don't have stability, what is stability at the end? For me right now, because of being an entrepreneur since 6 years, um, when you the stability here of having a house maybe, or marriage, or partner that you can rely on, your insurance, your rents, all these kind of things, for me, when something breaks down tomorrow, what do you have left? You don't have anything left except for your
Mm-hmm.
minds, your health, your spirit, your
It's
soul,
an
right? So
illusion.
it's an illusion that people created to think that they are safe. Uh, and here, especially in Germany, you have these borders that they do around their houses to protect themselves even more, and not to create community, instead separation. So when I see that, for me, it is so, so interesting to see, coming from Morocco back here, to see how people create their sense of safetyness. And in Morocco, it's like people keeping the doors open to help each other. This is how you create the safetyness there, right? In community. And they
Mm-hmm.
adapt. They adapt to every circumstance that is happening, right? A country that has more people without financial security, so they know that if there's something happening, people need to support each other. So this is where how we are in our roots as humans, right? And these kind of things, you lose them a little bit in Europe, or wherever you have more security in a financial way. And the other thing that I found super interesting about entrepreneurship that you mentioned before was the part of going out of your comfort zone and to take risk. And because it doesn't only mean that you can adapt to circumstances, but it also challenges you as a human being to learn, to grow, and to actually be human, you know? Everything else that is giving you too much safety in it, for me personally, I feel like you're losing your abilities to be human and to really use all the skills that God gave to you to develop. And the
Mm.
beautiful part about entrepreneurship is that once you start this journey, you learn so much about yourself. You learn how you interact with people. You learn about your childhood traumas. You learn in difficult situations to interact with people. How do I sell myself? How do I actually learn to get over a rejection? So many clients don't want to buy your product. Okay, do I give up now or not? How do I put myself out of my comfort zone? And how do I go through the lows and ups? And most of the time, if you are in a space where you are not surrounded by a lot of entrepreneurs, then it might be even a little bit more challenging, because you also need to build strong internal values. You really need to understand, what are your values, why are you what do you want to give? Because you can also be an entrepreneur because it feeds your ego. Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, you stand in front of a lot of people, you have something to give, and people want to pay you for it. So me, in my case, as a teacher, sometimes I need to like leave my ego and understand again, do I put myself out there because of the reasons, the values that I want to share and teach, or because I get validation from the
Mm-hmm.
students? So that is an important part as well. And yeah, it's the journey of learning about yourself is so, so beautiful. Once you open that little window, you just want to learn more and more and more
I
about
love
yourself.
that. It's like an experience and adventure, right? To put
Yes.
yourself out there. It's like loud trying this little entrepreneur side, let's say hustle, if that's where you want to get to, you
Mm-hmm.
want to get fully at it. It's an honor, actually. You owe it to yourself to try
Mm,
it at least. I guess
mm,
we're a bit, maybe two entrepreneurs talking here, we're a bit biased, obviously, but it's maybe an honor for yourself to at least try it so you can have this voyage within.
yeah.
And that inspired me to say that what you said about what is your skill sets. At the end of the day, you're totally right. I can hustle, I can be naked in the street tomorrow, and I would find a way to hustle through and find a way to make my way around because
Mm,
I've developed so much resilience, so much capabilities, so much, like you said, abilities to express myself, communicate, sell whatever I need to sell about me and my skills, and present myself that I could have not learned just being in one job with um, the same realities and the same system, right? So it
mm,
does multiply your skill sets. It does make you become more capable and touch base in
mm,
different skills. So, what is your greatest value is your unicity and the skills you develop over time, right? And the skills that
mm,
you have learned outside of your comfort zone. Because what you've
mm,
learned in your comfort zone is still very limited because it's
mm.
according to a certain limitations, according to a certain structure, right? But what happens when all structure loosen, like you said? What do you do then?
Exactly.
And that's where you
Exactly.
see how your limitless capabilities show up. It's
Mm,
outside of the comfort zone that you see how capable you are.
mm,
And I want
exactly.
to I want to say about the safety that's so powerful. I feel that what people compute as safety is actually an illusion, like we said. We can replace safety by predictability because what people mention as safety is not safety, right?
Mm,
It's actually predictable. I have a job,
exactly.
I have a pay every 2 months, every 2 weeks, every month. I have this to pay, I have this car. It's predictability. And
Mm,
where does predictability comes? It comes from the brain, from the ego.
mm,
My brain
mm,
says that comes there, so I have the confidence that it's gonna come in 2 weeks, and after in 2 weeks, and I can pay that in 2 weeks, right? That's the brain. That's not your spirit,
mm,
right? That's the small ego in us that
mm,
enjoy predictability,
mm.
stability, right? But that's not where you grow. That's not where you have the
No,
fun, right? I'm not saying
no.
it's bad. It's okay to have some predictability in your life. It's normal. Even me, even you, Mariam, we do enjoy that from time to time, right? We cannot just live
Exactly.
unknowingly every day of our life, but it's a question of balance. Let yourself
Mm,
be surprised a bit by life. Let yourself experience outside of your comfort zone, right? Because safety, what we said about safety is an illusion. Because even if you think your brain is in a predictability pattern, nothing is guaranteed. Your job is not guaranteed. Your house is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So, what do
exactly.
you choose right now to be a truth and a safety is actually an illusion. Nothing is guaranteed, right?
Mm,
What is true
mm,
safety? True safety is having this feeling that no matter where you will be, no matter what will be your situation, you know that you are safe. Safe
mm,
emotionally, right? Safe
mm,
in your value, safe physically, safe in love, and safe that you're not alone. That's
mm,
true safety. And that's what brings
mm,
me inner peace.
mm. It's
The
so true.
safety that you mentioned is an illusion. When people say, "Oh, Macy, I don't know how you do it," going out there and then I could never. It's so not reliable or safe for me, or like
Mm,
not having a job or not having this payroll. Let me tell you, you can have calculated risk. You can have find ways for you to make money. You can have contracts. There's so many ways for an entrepreneur to create a sense of predictability. It's been
mm,
over 5, 7 years I've been doing that,
mm.
and I've been going fine. You budget
And
your
there is
things,
always a
and every month
opportunity
there's money.
coming.
Yes, and there's always opportunities
Exactly,
coming
right?
because you're putting yourself out there, because you're
Exactly.
exchanging, right? So let's talk about, I think we took a tangent here, but let's talk about the fears and blockages for people who would like to
Hmm.
try entrepreneurship. I'm gonna let you go on with.
Okay, fears and blockages. If I look towards my inner circle and I see potential of people being good in entrepreneurship, and I already told them a few times, and I every time I can feel that there is for men, there is a difference that I feel in men and women. In
Mm-hmm.
men, I feel very strongly the need of protection, providing, leading, guiding, especially when they have a family or someone to take care of, which is most of the time. And even if they don't have someone right now, they think more about the future. Some of them, some of the entrepreneurs that I met, they also think about future and providing and leading and guiding. But for those who are not entrepreneurs, they think that they need to go with what the system tells them to do to be able to offer these kind of characteristics. So this is a big blockage. Do I put my masculinity, my man um, duties on risk if I think about planning family, etc. When it comes to women, I always feel a sense of self-doubt, insecurity. I always feel like, who am I that I can teach someone something? Why should I talk on Instagram or being shy? All these kind of things. Like,
The
do I,
imposter
or even
syndrome.
exactly, and also the part of if we, I mean, as women, we have a masculine and feminine side, and the masculine part sometimes comes out, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you want to sell, you want to teach, you want to explain something. That is your masculine part talking right now. It is a little bit more in imperative, uh, in a clear way, in a direct way,
Directive. Yeah.
which doesn't mean that it's aggressive, that it's not soft. It's just like you're in your different energy, and that's something that can be sometimes a little bit scary that I felt in women to see that voice inside them, to trust that they have the capability of teaching and evolving and also being in their masculine. um, so this part is related to the women, and then of course we have equal doubts coming from both, and which I see a lot is just like people who are still a little bit like in or in doubt of what other people would think about them. So when you're not completely free and you still think a lot about other opinions, other views, and you're not super, super aligned with yourself, you're not super in peace with yourself, then I think it's more difficult for these kind of people to make the first step. And I just want to encourage them that also us, we started somewhere not believing in us, not having the courage, fighting against family members, just going our way, right? So also for us, like there were so many walls I had to clash and hit, until I found my self-confidence, until I found my voice. And now when I talk self-confident or you talk self-confident, it will all happen step by step, only by not giving up and trusting and believing in what I want to say, I want to share with the world has truth in it. And I want to help others to also go that way because I believe that in community we rise more and more, being authentic with ourselves.
Mhm.
So
I love
yeah,
that.
maybe you can add
Oh,
on.
that's so sweet. The time is flying. I want to respect our episode. As you were saying that, I just realized as well that I would not have grown in this self-confidence and where I am today if I has not taken the path of entrepreneurship. That's for me.
Mm,
Because everything that brings you that we just talked about just embodies, you embody so much and you learn so much and you unlearn so much. I rise and grow so much from it.
mm,
Um, I feel like all the fears and blockages, everything you said, the self doubt, putting yourself out there, the fear, the imposter syndrome, it's all common. I remember when I used to take trainings and coaching from coaches, they would all say the same thing. We would all have the same common fears. So after
mm,
having the same common fears, I would like acknowledge them. I'm like, okay, then what? I would still have this physical blockage, this physical
mm,
aching of like doing a live, of putting myself there, of making a video. I remember the face video, I would stress my life. I would like sweat everywhere and like
mm,
what do I say? Who am I to say that? I'm going to put myself there. It's vulnerable to put yourself out there, of
mm,
course. And we're talking about
mhm,
coaching ways. There's all the types of businesses as entrepreneurs, definitely that you don't have to put videos up there, but it's a form of putting yourself out there, right? And the
mm,
fear of being judged, right? So all those things are
mm,
common, but I truly feel that they all layers under layers of what truly the underlying fears is actually
mm,
taking risk, going out of your comfort zone and doing something that requires discomfort at the end of the day. Because it's so much easier to do something what people tell you and just not say anything about than actually taking an initiative, creating this plan, and putting yourself out there,
mm,
right? So it's this profound discomfort of everything that connects with you and brings out that actually is what
mm,
can be a blockage, right? Because it's so much easier on the ladder, right? And my advice for me to conclude is get to know yourself more, and you get to know yourself as you're going on, but self awareness. What is the type of person you are right now? What brings you joy? What actually doesn't bring you joy, right? And see what types of energy you like to put into, and you're going to see what type of entrepreneur business can fit with you, right?
mm,
I started not full on, I started slowly. So that could reassure me that I could have another plan if that did not work out. It's totally fine to start this way.
mm,
You know what I mean? If you're a person I do everything or all, then go for it. You know what I mean? Every
mm.
type is different. Every type is unique to you, you know?
Exactly,
But that's what
exactly.
when we take talk about calculated risk, that's what helped me slowly going forward and going at my
Mm,
own rhythm.
mm.
That was important for
What
me and I
a
realized that today.
It's so important that you say that. In my case, for example, it was completely different. I had to directly go into entrepreneurship completely without having any stability. So what I learned from it, or
I
what is
love
my
that.
conclusion from it, is that don't be afraid of rejection and failure. Get very comfortable with these two. And it's an illusion that people say you cannot start all over again when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50. No, I truly don't believe in that. You see
Love
beautiful
that.
people, designers, I don't know what, starting with 50 and then growing, especially right now with social media. You have a freedom that is crazy. If you have something to give and you feel like you truly believe in this, people will find you. The right people will find you. So the ones that were are not for you, let them go. This is rejection. Part of being okay with rejection. Rejection is nothing negative. Rejection is good. It just removes the people that are not meant for you. And those who are meant for you, they come to you. That is
I
very,
love
very
that.
important.
I
It
love
was
that.
one
See?
of my biggest learnings.
I love that so much because I learned rejection too. That was okay because I knew it was this or not something better, and I knew it was not a good fit. But let us see here how we came into entrepreneurship totally in a different approach, and we
Mm,
still learned beautiful things out of it. You know what I mean? And in both cases, if we have failed trying that, we still knew we had solutions behind that.
mm,
In your case, you have gone all in into it, and if you would have failed, you knew you were going to find another solution behind it. So this illusion
exactly.
that of fear of, oh, what am I going to do if something fails? It's you're really going to rebound. You're truly going to be
Mm,
capable more than you think.
mm,
Like I said, the humankind is incredibly resilient. And that's a great reminder
mm,
what you said. I love that so much.
mm,
Each one of us has a little bit of entrepreneur. I could literally meet every one of my around me right now, my network, like my 10 closest people, and I could find something for them to be entrepreneur in. Sure,
mm,
seriously. Because they have so
yeah.
much unicity and I can
Mm,
see their passion, right? And then it
yeah.
belongs to them, but I just wanted to share that everything is
Yeah.
possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's so true.
do you want to? I feel like we could talk more and more about all of this,
Yes,
obviously,
it's such a
especially in what you
beautiful
experience.
topic.
Yes, I love this, and I
I
hope
mean,
that
we can see that we truly live the entrepreneur heart, right? It's we have so many. I mean, you have 7 years, I do 6 years, and it goes up and down. I had so many failures. Oh my God. And it just taught me that there is no safety net. The only safety net is how I react to these circumstances. This is the
hmm,
only thing I can create. How do I react? How do I not let things react me? How do I
hmm,
react to
what
them?
do I learn
And
from
that's
this?
what do I learn from this? And that is the thing, like we say when we get traumas, when we get hurt, the hurt doesn't go like time doesn't heal. Some people say time heals the wound, but I don't believe in that. I actually
Me
believe that
too.
time doesn't heal. You just become stronger, more resilient, more abundant. So this is how you get out of it. And it's the same for entrepreneurship. You just get faster, smarter, easier with failures. Like now it's like one day that someone doesn't want me. Okay, next day, next one, next job, next offer. And this is how you train your mind and you see opportunities coming and you take them. If you don't want to see opportunities, there will be no opportunities. If you want, you will see opportunities every day with everyone passing through.
There you go. I love this so much.
Right?
Beautiful way of concluding for you, Mariam. Um, I love this very much. And at the end of the day, if you want to try, if you feel that you have the signs calling you out to try the entrepreneurship way, don't do it for the money. Do
Mm,
it for your calling. Do it to honor learning. Do it for your being and your unicity, to get to discover who you truly are more and more, to challenge yourself too. Do it for the experience of entrepreneurship than actually the end goal of gaining money from it. That's what I
mm,
have to conclude with. That's what I
mm,
encourage you with. Because your true calling is going to always be more sustainable and 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 truthfully motivating than just the money itself. And that has been like that forever. That's what I want to
exactly.
finish up with. S- Just do it for the adventure, the experience, and see what you
Mm,
like or not. And if it was not for
mm,
you, then good for it. You have tried it at least. We're living in an
mm,
era we have access to so much possibilities, guys.
mm.
So much possibilities. It would be a waste of gifts and opportunities to not grasp at it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was so
Beautiful.
beautiful today.
I hope it was a pep talk in the same time for both of us. I felt good. Great reminders for
Yeah.
myself. Cannot
Yeah.
wait to see the things
Yeah.
following up. And I thank you so much again for this beautiful episode.
Thank you so much as well. Really. I'm very happy.
Glad. I'm glad. All right. How do I? Okay.